Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this new episode of Sartorial Talks. Today, we're going to dedicate a full episode on a very interesting subject, which I know interests a lot of you, and specifically on which you have several questions. Actually, we receive a lot of questions. It's about custom suiting, and more precisely, how this industry of custom suiting is evolving in the years 2020 and after. And for that, I have a special guest today. His name is Valerio Gianinni. I hope I pronounce it well?
Perfectly.
Okay, Valerio Gianinni is the head of retail of a great company that we are following since, I would say, its inception in 2013. Yes. And the name of this company, I'm going to try to articulate because it's a very Italian sound. It's Lanieri. So I do it to get Lanieri, and you in America or in England, you can sell Lanieri if you want. But it's a company who was founded in 2013. So first of all, Valerio, give us a little bit of background. Why this company was founded? Was it among the first company to try to mix or to make a fusion between the digital world and the tailoring world? Tell us a little bit about this story.
Yes, as first, Hugo, good morning to you, good morning to everybody, and thank you for inviting me.
You're very welcome.
Thanks a lot for all your fantastic work that you have done during these years. So it was massive and amazing, so thanks a lot.
And you're very welcome, my friend.
Thank you. Talking about Lanieri, yes, for sure, you are correct. We have been starting our companies in 2013.
Yes.
And we have started the company as the first Italian e-commerce in made-to-measure clothes for men, only for men, unfortunately.
Yeah. You mean there were other initiatives already on the market?
Yes,
in other countries?
Yes, in other countries, but the point is that no one was 100% Italian.
Okay.
So in other cases, there are some companies that, for example, has the production in Southeast Asia.
Yes.
They have fabrics that, who knows the real origin?
Nobody knows
this one. No, correct. And instead, Lanieri, his focal point was we are 100% Italian in the governance and also in the production. So made in Italy first, and then all of our fabric come from Italian mill and wool producer.
And if I know well, and I know well because I've been following the inception of this company since the very beginning. I think I visited the first store in Milan in 2015. It was just open, but let's go back to 2013.
Yeah.
As far as I know, the first investors or the people who were really behind this company were the big mills of Biella. Is that correct?
Yes, was firstly the Reda Group.
Yes.
That now, since this year, so the beginning of 2021,
yes,
acquired all the stock and all the shares of Lanieri company. So now we are 100% Reda. But yes, you are correct. At the beginning in 2013, Reda was the first investor in Lanieri with a very, very, very huge amount of money that they gave us just to launch our business. We were a startup, obviously, funded by 2-3 guys.
Yeah.
At the moment, they were same age as me, so they were 30, and they grew up with the company.
Yeah, it's a nice story, actually.
It's a nice story. It's the classic story of a startup that now we can say we are no more a startup.
So we are in 2013. Reda is investing in a kind of a bet, because for me, I remember the beginning when I received this information about this young startup or new startup in Italy who has this intention of opening the doors of custom suiting wider, maybe for the young generation or for the people who can't afford bespoke, traditional bespoke. I was, to be honest with you, I was a little bit skeptical, because the major point for me was it's easy to buy even a car online or even a watch online, but how do you do to buy a suit online? We have problem with sizes, and specifically when you speak about custom suiting. So explain to us what was the founding idea and how you managed to remove all the obstacles from your road. And I believe there was a lot of obstacles to start with, and maybe mentally for the people, the first obstacle to say, how can I be confident to buy a custom suit online without meeting physically a tailor or somebody who's going to measure me? Explain to us that, because I know this is a question that many of our subscribers have.
I imagine. It was totally a bet, Hugo. Totally a bet.
Yes.
The main purpose of our two founders was to have a very, very big democratization of the suit. You were talking before about the bespoke suits, the made-to-measure suit. They were not so democratic. You need not very big portfolio, but a big wallet, sorry, but you need some money to buy it.
Of course. Several thousand euro, let's say.
We can say, for having a good wardrobe, what we can say, so maybe more or less 15 suits for all year long, for the seasons. It takes a lot of money.
Exactly.
So doing it as an e-commerce for us was a big advantage. Then we're talking about the obstacles, but I would like to talk about first regarding the opportunities.
Yes.
The big opportunity doing it as an e-commerce was to cut all the incredible cost structure that a normal company has. And so if we were able to cut the cost of the structure of a company, obviously the price for the customer, for the final customer, should be lower.
Yes.
And this is why today, Lanieri, you can buy a suit for 495 euro and you can buy a shirt for 75 euro as an entry price. That is, to me, a miracle, but also for our customer is a miracle. We can
it is miraculous, I must admit, if it's good, but we're going to talk about that,
yes,
of course,
sure.
because you can buy very cheap suit everywhere.
It's true.
But no, I'm just teasing you. If you hear, it's because you have some good qualities, obviously, otherwise we will not invite you. So so you are saying that it was a bet at the beginning, and as far as I know, so you started in 2013 strictly online. That was only online.
Strictly online, and I have to say, with investment of Reda Group, we can build a series of, we can say, software more or less. Now I'll explain to you.
Yes.
For helping the customer, obviously, in taking all the measurements and in customization of their products. So, for example, now we provide a video, a mini series of video for each of the measurements that we usually take.
I think there's 10 or 12 videos, very precise.
It's very precise. For all the measurements, you have a very small video, just 12 seconds, 15 seconds. We usually use the tape, the classic tape. I'll explain it because today, with all the innovation, there are a lot of new way for taking the measurements. But we know and we think that today, these technologies are not so ready yet. We prefer to use the tape. The classic and old method.
I can concur that there's a lot of initiative in this world, for example, with scanners and 3D, whatever. And I still strongly believe in the power of the normal measurement.
Me too.
If it's directed by you or if it's sufficiently explained. So can you really say now with assurance that if somebody follows exactly these are small YouTube video that you put on your website. It's explaining how to measure the back, how to measure the sleeve, how to measure everything that you need. Can you safely guarantee the people that the measurement's going to be good, or do you add something else in order to help them making the measurement right?
Sure, these videos are combined with our algorithm that was developed by us, and by inserting 3 kinds of information. So your height, your weight, and your age.
Yes.
In automatic, the algorithm give you an output of a range for each measurements in which usually, we can say usually, the measurement have to be in this range. So for example, if you are 180, 80 kilos of weight and you are 50, for example, your chest measure should be in the range between 100 and 105 centimeter.
Okay.
If your tape goes as an output to you 110, it comes out an alert in red just saying, oh,
the algorithm say maybe you have to double check this.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's wrong. This is the first part. Then obviously
let's 1 second on the algorithm. So you mean that since the beginning of Lanieri in 2013, every measurement of every customer is gathered into a database or whatever you call this, and put into an algorithm so that the algorithm is refining itself more and more to detect the mistakes in the measurements?
Now, yes, but in 2013, when we have launched the company and all this kind of system, obviously we use data that not coming from Lanieri for sure.
Because you had no customers at the beginning.
Exactly. So, but now we can refine it with our customers.
Yes.
Because we have very different kind of body shape. We have the very muscular guy. You have the very thin, the tall, the short. So it's different. It's very difficult to find the right way. But obviously the videos and the algorithm helps a lot the customer. that uses the online
And
website.
as far as I know, you add on top of that a possibility for each customer to have a video consultation.
Yes.
So that somebody, a style consultant from Lanieri, can assist you in the measurement process. Is that right?
What usually happens is that, for example, a customer all over the world, could be in US, could be in Singapore, in Japan, wherever, we have many reservations for this kind of service all over the world. Really, believe me, Hugo.
Yes.
And what happens is that we have the customer, or the future customer in this case, with the wife, with a friend, with the son that has the tape in measurements. We are in video call with him,
fun,
for
actually.
example, in WhatsApp, in Skype, or whatever.
Yeah.
And we correct him if he's taking wrong the measurements. For example, no, put the tape a little bit higher or a little bit lower. We give advice to him while he is taking the measurement. And this is a plus service, we can say.
Of course, it is fantastic. And specifically, I suppose during the lockdown, it was very popular.
It was launched in March 2020, exactly.
Okay, exactly at the beginning of the lockdown.
Perfectly in this period. Yeah.
And then you're going to keep this system because it proved itself successful.
For sure.
Yeah.
The video consultation is useful not only in taking the measurements, but obviously it's very important also in the other, I can say, two part of our business, that is the choosing of the fabric.
Yes.
Because you know better than me that under a fabric there is a world. There are hours to talk about a fabric.
Yeah.
So we gave help to the customers in choosing the right fabric for his occasion. And then there is another step, that is the advisory, the consultancy in terms of style. So when it's better to have two bottom models of a jacket, when it's better double-breasted.
Yeah.
Also consultancy and advisory in terms of color and combination, because this is very difficult for men, not for women. Women are much more better than us.
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
You don't know why.
No, I don't know.
This is something that always struck me, is that, when you go with a woman, which is your wife, your girlfriend, or woman, or your mother even, in a store, when they take a dress or something they want to buy, they all do the same gesture. They take the dress and they put the dress. Did you see your girls doing this? They put this under their skin tone.
It's true.
Did you see a man doing this with a suit?
Never.
So it's because there's this kind of the woman have this kind of immediate feeling on what is completing or being how to pair a fabric with their complexion, we say, darling? Complexion? I'm still struggling with a few English names, I'm sorry. So they always do this, and we never do that. And I try to teach people, even when you choose a fabric, if it's a cut length, it's easier because you can drape it on yourself and you can immediately see if it goes with your skin tone, with your hair, and stuff like that. But even if you have these small bunches, which are only little things like that, you can still put it on your skin to see if it really complements very well your skin tone. So I'm sorry for the little digression, but this is something very few people know, is that the women, they have this reflex to put this directly. So it means during the consultation, you go, it's not only about measurement, it's a full service. Basically.
Full service, yep.
You assist people in making the right choice. So 2013, I was skeptical. I saw the first production, I remember, was kind of decent, I would say, in terms of value. Yep. The value was actually incredible because you have access to the best meals in Italy, crafted in Italy. So I think the price was very good. But I was still a little bit not sure about the cut because you are still learning. And what I like in Lanieri, that this company has been growing, learning. That is, you've been refining your business model while you walk. And this is, for me, a sign of a good management. Because if somebody says today, I'm going to do this, and we're going to do like this, and in 5 years we're going to do that, today, in the world in which we live, it's impossible to forecast. Who would have told us that we will be locked down for almost 2 years, and that the video consultation will skyrocket, and that the people will start to be more confident in using e-commerce? So what I like in Lanieri is this progression. And then that 13, and then quite quickly, 2 years after, you open, I would say about paradoxically, but it's not a paradox, it was the natural continuation to open a brick and mortar store or a showroom in Milano?
It was the natural continuation in the sense that we were talking about before the obstacles, so the measurements, so the fabric and the advisory. And this is why we decided in really 2014 to test the first pop-up stores. And then in 2015 we choose Milan as the first location for our first,
which is kind of natural,
for an Italian company. Yes, exactly. So we opened our Milan store in spring 2015.
I remember. I was there.
Were there.
I mean,
I know.
Well, I was not there at the opening, but we were there with Sonia maybe a few weeks after.
Very soon.
Very early.
And it was a success.
Yes,
it was a success because customers would like to have exactly what we were giving to them. So the possibility to touch the fabric, to be advised in the professional way, and obviously the measurements taken by professionals. This is the most important thing. It was a success at the point that in December the same year, 2015, we opened the second store, always in Italy, in Rome, the capital. I'm from Rome, so I'm very proud of that. Even if I live in Milan.
Forza Roma.
Forza Roma, always. Always. And then in 2016, so next year, even Roma was a wonderful success since the very beginning. 2016, we opened our 2 stores in Italy, in Turin and Bologna. And always 2016, we opened in the foreign countries of France, so in Paris, and in Brussels, in Belgium. So our expansion is not finished, or better, during the last 3-4 years, we have tried to consolidate this market, so the Italian market, the Belgian market, and the French market. But now, for the next year, so 2022 to the next 3-4 years, we have in plan to have new stores, fortunately. And I can't say anything at the moment, but there will be very big surprises.
Some good projects.
Some good
but
projects.
What is interesting for me, beside the fact that you are growing and expanding, what is interesting for me is that I believe strongly in the fact that, because there's a fight today between the people, the traditionalists, who say, okay, come on, do a suit online, measure by yourself, blah, blah, blah. It seems a little bit difficult for me, so I stick to my local tailor. I prefer that because for me it's impossible to do that. And then you have the progressists on the other side said, are you kidding? You're an old-fashioned guy. Why don't you try to order something online? Because the main obstacle is the first suit. After you've been, if you stay the same fit, if you don't abuse Nebbiolo and Camembert and Parmigiano and spaghetti alla vongole and all the pizza from Napoli. And so, of course, it's difficult to stay fit in Italy, my friends, if you go there because the food is so good. Same thing in France, actually. But if you stay the same body measurements, basically the most difficult is the first order. As soon as you have inside your system my measurement, for example, then I can reorder the suits, just choosing the fabric, choosing the style. We're going to come to these details now. But then you have so I was a little bit skeptical at the beginning, but you see that the fact, I strongly believe now that the solution is a fusion, is online and physical if you can, or at least online, but with the help of somebody like you do in your video consultation. So we call it's a marketing term. Sorry, we're going to use some kind of marketing term. We call it, we can say that Lanieri is an omni-channel. That is to say, you can access your product in different manners.
Yes, correct. Omni-channel is our key word. Omni derives from the Latin word omnia, that means in Italian tutto, it's all.
Yes, all
so
of
that
them.
all channels are linked. So for us, the 2 channels is the online, as you said before, and the offline. For us, we are trying to do our best to give the customer the same exact experience online and offline. The most important thing I would like to add in terms of omnichannel is that, for example, if you come in a Lanieri store for your first purchase, it's great. Then you can have the delivery of your suit, of your order directly in US 4 weeks later without any problem. And then you can have the help and the assistance from the customer service that is based in Milan but helps the customer worldwide. Or if you want, then okay, I'll take my suit, but I don't want to have the alteration to my local tailor. I'll be in Paris next week for working purpose, so I'll go to Paris store, and they perfectly know everything about you, and they can assist and help you the same way as if you go to Milan store where you have bought the first time.
Yeah.
So it's exactly the same, and we are all linked due into these two channels, and this is one of our key point, I can say.
What I take away about what you just said is that you are working as much as you can to ensure the customer a good experience, but more precisely a safe experience, because I still understand people who are a little bit reluctant to order something online, but you guarantee them a lot of service so that in the end, if there's a very little chance that something goes wrong, but if it goes wrong, what happens? For example, something doesn't really fit, or there's a mistake somewhere.
Yeah, sure.
What solution do you offer?
We have different kind of mistakes.
Yeah.
We can say the first and the easiest one is that your suit maybe or your shirt needs some alteration.
Yes.
So for example, the trouser is a little
simple
bit long.
alteration.
Yeah, simple alteration.
Yeah.
Lanieri cover always all the costs, so the customer doesn't pay anything for the alteration.
But when you mean the cost, for example, I receive a suit, and I think that on the waist it should be a little bit tighter.
Yep.
So I know an alteration tailor in my hometown who can do this for me. You cover the cost of the alteration tailor.
We have two ways to cover the cost. Yes. Or you can have all the full reimbursement of what you have spent. Yeah. We have a range, a maximum amount that we can cover.
Of course.
Obviously, regarding the tailor.
Yeah. Yeah. Of
sure.
course, if you buy a 500 euro suit, you're not gonna be allowed to do 600 euros of alteration. Of course, it's understood.
Exactly. But in this case, the most, to me, beautiful and interesting thing that Lanieri offer is that you can have a remake, what we call remake. So we make it again, the suit, totally for free. Our goal and our purpose is that the customer must find the perfect fit for himself. And until we have reached our goal and the goal of the customer, we continue providing the best service.
Does it mean you accept, like successful companies, not in our world, but all the successful companies in the digital world, they had one policy. They accept not to make big margin, or even sometimes to lose money on the first order.
Correct.
And that's your strategy too.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a couple of numbers just to clarify what we are talking about. The rate of the remakes. Yeah. So
people who are not happy, they want to be redone.
Yeah.
From scratch, you redo everything.
Yep. Yeah. And the alteration is about the 5% per year.
It's very small.
So it's very small.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. Because in the shop, in the stores, we take the measurements. So we are really, really sure of our work, and the results is always better. And online, for the customer that does it online, is different because they use the algorithm, they use the video consultation. So year by year, we have reached the possibility to have this percentage. So this 5% always lower and lower and lower due to our system, to our assistance.
Of course.
And another number that I would like to mention, very important, is that the returns, because it's possible also the returns.
Yes.
You say, it arrives to me, I don't like.
I don't like anymore.
It's different than I have expected.
The color doesn't look the same on the computer and in reality.
Exactly.
And the feel.
And the feel, yes. In this case, there is a policy, obviously, for the returns, and our rate of returns per year is only 2%. And so this is a wonderful success. You said correct, in fact, that today, in terms of sustainability, the returns are one of the worst things that can happen to a company, especially in the last year, where the e-commerce has an incredible growth due to the COVID, unfortunately, and the returns rate of the e-commerce company usually are incredibly high, double digit, always for us. We are an e-commerce, so as I said, now with an offline division for sure, but we are basically an e-commerce. Have a return rate of less than 2% is
it's fabulous.
In terms of sustainability.
It's fabulous. But it means for me, because behind the figures, it means for me that you manage year after year to find solutions to improve the cut, to improve the precision of the measurement, then to improve the relationship with the customer through video, in person, online, and then your algorithm is going up because it has a lot of experience. I'm sorry I said he has. An algorithm is not a person. It's just a big data gatherer. But it's in this case, well, I've been advocating against algorithms so many times because I don't want an algorithm to rule my life. But we're talking here of a professional algorithm that will help you make sure that your measurements taken are right. And in this case, I'm very happy to have this kind of technology. Sometimes I speak about algorithm in the wrong way because, there's a guy, very funny guy on Twitter, he's doing some inscription on cardboards, and he says only everything that everybody thinks but never says. For example, he was in a demonstration and he say, please Google, don't show me the jacket or the car that I've been speaking about with my wife 10 minutes ago. Because sometimes it can be a little bit striking, that you say, you just talk about something with your wife and all of a sudden it pops in on your computer because maybe you don't remember that you've been looking for that anyway. So it was a little bit digression, but in this case, the algorithm is extremely useful.
And I would like to add one thing to what you are saying, Hugo. It's correct. Technologies can help, but
yes.
Technology cannot be fully equipped for how can I say to completely substitute women. To completely substitute men.
Yeah.
This is why algorithms help us to have the correct input of measurements of
yes.
the measurements of the customers.
Yes.
But then there are Lanieri people, so my colleagues,
of course,
that has their job to transform the anatomic measurements of the customer in the measurements for the products.
That's
so
the key of success.
The shape.
It's the key
and
of success.
the human feeling in this work is special and is crucial.
Yeah.
It's not it's impossible to have it thanks to technologies or thanks to another algorithm. It's impossible.
Yeah.
We need human beings in this, and we need human beings in our stores because the customer experience that you can live in one of our stores is 99% driven by our customer.
Of course.
Our
This
people.
is very wise word that you just said, that, and I come back to what I was initially saying a few minutes ago, is that I strongly believe in the fusion between the two. There's something that the e-commerce or the digital world will help us. It's for sure. I mean, all of us, we've been benefiting from e-commerce. It's easier, it's more comfortable. You have a wider choice. You can have the whole planet at your fingertips. But at the same time, for some specific trade like tailoring, for example, it will always need some kind of human intervention at one moment or the other, because it's the nature of this job. So this is why I'm very happy to see how Lanieri evolved little by little during all these years. And then now you have this mix of brick and mortar stores and online, so that the people can safely order custom suiting made in Italy. It may sound for you some kind of a detail. It is not for us a detail. Absolutely. Because, the heritage of the Italian civilization in terms of art, of course, but specifically in terms of men's style, they are very important. And for us, the fact that a company is defending this made in Italy, which is for us, you are just close to Milan, so it's next door for us in France. It's something that has a lot of value. Let's go now a little bit more into the process, because I suppose a lot of people have questions about that. So, of course, if you want to know the process, you go to lanieri.com and you will have everything explained. It's actually quite a beautiful website that you have, and very full of information, but at the same time very easy to browse. So, but let's try now to do the physical experience. Okay, I'm a young graduate. I just graduated from a university. I'm going to become a consultant in a big company, or I will work as a executive trainee in a corporation, and I don't know much about suiting, and I knock at the door of your Brussels store, Parisian store, or one of your Italian stores. What happens at this moment? What are the let's say, we're not go into too much detail, but what are the major steps that you're going to do with your style advisor?
To me, when I have my meeting with the oldest store manager of Lanieri stores worldwide, first point is always ask questions to customers. This is very important because we need all the information that we can to best advise the customer. We were talking about fabric before and all the world that there is under and behind a fabric. This is why we need to know, for example, yes, if you need a suit for work, if you need a suit for your wedding, for example, if your work is based in an office, so you are seated all day, or for example, if you travel a lot. So all this kind of question, then obviously there is the question regarding your style, your preference. So you prefer it, for example, in blue, in gray, you prefer it a plain fabric, or you prefer, for example, Prince of Wales, you prefer an out suit. There are
so you are questioning the people about their lifestyle, literally.
Correct, 100%. When I have all the information, then I can give to the customer the best advice and the best solution in terms of fabric. Imagine that not all customers are really ready to enter in one of our stores in terms of competencies. Obviously, you sit here in our store with our store manager, and you find in front of you more than 200 to 300 fabrics, and you go to panic maybe if you're not an expert. And
it's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. Yeah, correct. And so you need an help. So all my questions are for giving you a selection of 2, 3 to 5 fabric.
So not 500 or 12,000 in
it's
in
impossible
some
for you
tailors.
to choose. No, it's impossible for you if you are not an expert to choose. I'll give you 3, 4, 5 fabrics that are perfect for your occasions, and then for you it will be much more easy to find the best one for you.
Just a quick question in terms of fabric. We know that I'm always totally, when we go to Milano Unica. Milano Unica is the trade show. I think it's twice a year or once a year? Twice a year. In Milano is where, of course, for summer, spring, and for winter, fall, where all the mills are gathering and they present their collection, their new creation. You have no idea, ladies and gentlemen, about the creativity of the mills, I mean, in England and specifically in Italy. You have no idea of how these people are really creating. For me, I can tell you, Valerio, I think that the most incredible innovations in the world of men's style in the last 20 years are not coming from tailors, are not coming from factories, they are coming from mills. Because since 10 years, there was an explosion of technical fabric, stretch wool, natural stretch wool, water repellent fabric, all we call multifunctional fabric. I remember some fabric, some people love, for example, when you are riding a motorino, a scooter, it's very interesting to have some stretch fabric, etc. So there's a lot of innovation that came from the mill, and the fact that you are working only with Italian mills and mainly with Reda, of course, which is the owner of the company now, means a lot, because you are immediately putting your hands on what basically the fabrics has the best to offer in the world. So this is something which is extremely important. So you work on the lifestyle, you just see, and then how many options that can the people choose on your suits?
Once we have chosen the fabric, then we start the most funny part of our appointment, because we need to take an appointment to come in our store.
Of course, we will resume this at the end. Of course,
we need time to dedicate to our customers. The funniest part of the appointment is when we customize the suit or the shirt or the product in general, because we have on our website we have the 3D rendering of what we are doing. So for example, you choose this blue fabric plain from Reda, wonderful, okay, let's choose it and then customize it. So we are here we choose the model of the jacket, for example. So if you prefer a 2-button model, 3-button model, you prefer the notch lapel, the peak lapel like mine. Notch lapel is the Hugo ones. The peak lapel like mine, you prefer it narrow, you prefer it wider, you prefer a double-breasted, for example. And the very beautiful thing of our 3D rendering is that when you tap on the selection, so for example, 2-button notch lapel, then the 3D rendering instantly change the image and figure it out what you are exactly choosing and looking for. So it's easier for the customer to imagine. Because we are not selling anything directly in our store because we are not ready to wear. So the customer must figure out what he is buying, and this is difficult.
And I suppose they are very surprised sometimes. They are very surprised of the number of options that are available. Because most of people, they say they understand the lapel, I guess, a little bit. They understand, of course, the fabric, the buttons, maybe the pocket, but they understand a bit less the shoulder, maybe?
The shoulder, for example, we have 2 kind of shoulders on our jacket. That is the rolled shoulder. So with 1 centimeter roll inside the shoulder, just to give a different shape.
A little bit more structured. It's we call it the Roman shoulder. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct.
We call it conrollino.
Conrollino,
like a rope, literally.
Exactly.
Okay? That's a more, let's say, if you are looking at this episode from the US or from England, I would say this is the Italian style that goes closer to the British style. It's very, it's a little bit more structured. It's not as structured as a chiffonnet shoulder, for example, of course not, but it's very clean shoulder, very structured. And then the second one
The second one is obviously the spalla camicia. Sorry, I said it in Italian because it's the shirt camicia, we can translate, is the one totally unpadded and very comfortable, like mine, for example, very comfortable, and it derives from the Napolitan tradition of tailoring. That is the most comfortable one, more
they call it second skin.
It's like a second skin. It's like a shirt.
You know why they do this like that in Napoli? Because they speak a lot with their hands, so they need to be flexible. And no, I'm just joking, but I did a film a few years ago by our friend Gianluca Migliarotti. It was for PT Uomo. I was invited in this film to speak about the difference between Italian tailoring, British tailoring, and French tailoring. And I remember saying a few things. The first thing I was saying about French is all about the quality of the couture. You know, we are the country of haute couture. You can't compete with French haute couture. But it's very refined in the details. The English, it's all about the tradition. It's all about don't showing off too much, being discreet as a gentleman, and something not too much structured, but sober, let's say, even austere, we can say. And then Italian is all about freedom. It's, you know, it's the total opposite. The Italian, they like to speak with their hands, and the more you go south, the more it becomes exuberant. And it's funny, I don't just invented the same kind of a sociology crash course about the quality of suits, but that's true. It has a geography for me. Totally. The more you go south, the more you need freedom of movement, or something light, and this is the point. So you are offering both
of them,
Roman shoulder and Napolitan shoulder. People are surprised, I suppose, when they discover this thing.
Yes,
or maybe not the people who are following us, I suppose, because we've been speaking a lot of that, but not a lot of people know about that.
No, exactly, and this is why our job is to educate the customer on all these kind of features that he doesn't know 5 minutes before. And then when he left one of our store after the purchase, he will come home and say, oh, today I've learned something new. And that was great in terms of fabric, in terms of all these features in the customization process. We try to teach our customer in their, as you said, many years ago, I think now, in their sartorial journey, because we are, for many of them, one of their maybe the first choice for beginning their sartorial journey.
If I would put this in my own words, I would say that Lanieri is among the best first steps in the wonderful world of custom suiting. Ladies and gentlemen, I insist on that because sometimes we receive a lot of messages, specifically on this channel, of people saying, Mr. Giacomi, I'm not too much into suiting, but I really appreciate Sartorial Talks, and but we still hesitate because sometimes it's a little bit, first of all, it sounds very expensive and a long process, and I'm not educated for that. So Lanieri, we love them specifically because it's made in Italy, and for us, it's a seal of quality. And more than quality, I would say it's a seal of style. The Italians have a sense of style that not every nation has, including France. I can say it very openly that I think that the men's style capital for me, I mean, it's not Milano or Napoli, but the main country for men's style remains for me, and I'm French, so you can believe. I would have loved to say France, but it is Italy. So for me, Lanieri is the good first step. But I say a first step is not only for young people. It's you're in your 40s, you want to upgrade your game. You see that now you don't have to wear a suit every day because the dress code have been loosening a lot in the world, but you are interested in that and you don't know where to begin. Lanieri is a first step, which is good. Why? Because the price is for custom suiting, quote unquote, affordable. You start at $495 or $500, and then it can go up to what is the average basket?
The maximum one is 1,245 for a suit.
Yes.
The average is in the mid of 750 to 850. More or less.
Yes.
And then the basket obviously depends. In store is much more easy to raise up the basket because obviously we have all the stuff here in the stores. We have the jackets, we have the mannequin, like the one that we have now behind us. Yeah. So in store is much more easy. Online, the basket size is a little bit lower. We are talking about more or less €400 because there are people that spend a lot of money for a suit, but there are also a lot of young guys, for example, that buy their first shirt.
Yeah.
The made-to-measure shirt for their 18th birthday party, for example, or the 16th birthday party in US, for example, and they spend few money. For example, the entry price, €75, no problem. We are talking about before the democratization.
Yes.
And this is very important. In our stores and online, we have customers from 16 to 18 and to 80 years old. Our range and our best target, I can say, is in the mid of 35, 45, the classic profile of a business consultant, a lawyer.
Yes.
This is our mainly target. But in our store, I've seen many times, I repeat, young guys, 18 years old, or 75, old men, retired, for example, but they usually would like to dress up a suit, for example, just for going out on Sunday with the wife. That is a wonderful thing to me, seeing this kind of passion. And you see the passion in this kind of area, in this 65 to 75, there is real passion of wearing a suit.
Isn't it marvelous? It's marvelous.
It's marvelous.
Yeah,
it's marvelous.
It's marvelous.
In all the other cluster, sometimes happen, in the majority of cases, happen that customers need a suit.
Of course.
And it's not driven by passion. It's more they
have to buy a suit.
I need to work.
Yeah.
And my work requires a suit. And so I need to buy a suit.
Yeah.
But when there is passion for us, it's completely different.
Yeah. But at the same time, if the guy who needs to buy a suit because he has to wear a suit comes to you rather than to buy a crappy off-the-rack suit with polyester, obviously he already did something a little bit better than he was not obliged to do so. It's a very interesting question. I would like to finish our discussion to maybe let's look a little bit further. Let's try to imagine the future of all this, because you proved with Lanieri and all this team, a lot of young people working at Lanieri, right?
The average age is mine. So, for example, 30, 32.
Yeah, this is a young band of people and of good friends, all passionate. You see, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we love to invite Italian people on this show, not only because they have a delicious accent, but also because they are... I've never seen anybody speaking about men's style with so much passion and vibration as Italian. They are like that. It's part of your culture. You are one of the guardians of the keys of the temple, almost. That to say that in this country, with Sonia, as you know, we travel a lot. And sometimes we always try to count the number of people who are suited up in the street. And it's a disaster. Even in Paris, one day we were not long ago, 2 months ago, we were in a taxi in Paris, and I said, okay, let's play a game. We were going to Chiffonly for a fitting, and I say from the station to Chiffonly, how many people we will see wearing not even a suit, let's say a decent jacket. Yeah. No, something else than just a blouson and a t-shirt and some sneakers. And then we could hardly find maybe 10 people on a long trip. But in Italy, and it's especially true in the south of Italy, you can still see some people who are walking on the seafront perfectly dressed, specifically the older guys in Napoli. We love them because they have a sense of style, which is extremely important. And this is probably the country where we find the greatest number of elegant men. They still dress and they still pass it to the young generation. I'm not saying this is a major trend, because we know that casual is everywhere now, but it is probably one of the most important country in terms of men's style. So let's speak a little bit now about the future. Because we had a conversation, well, we can tell you we had a good dinner yesterday night with some good wine and good food. And we were talking about the future because you see in your customer base that more and more people are moving away from ties, going more to casual things. So as far as I know, you try to adapt to this evolution. But what is your vision in terms of, because you have your thumb on the pulse of the customers, do you see a movement, a little bit more younger people coming into this world, or is it still totally out of their ambition?
We have to say that Lanieri started in 2013 with only the production of suit and shirts.
Yes.
So very formal, very business oriented.
Yes.
And then during the years, in these 8 years, we have launched so many products, not only formal, but mostly casual.
Yeah.
Last year we have launched the sweater collection.
Yes.
We have launched the pool jacket. That is a jacket completely unlined, is more like a sweater. This is why a pool jacket, because it's a jacket but maybe as a pool.
Yes.
We have the chino trousers. So like for example this one in corduroy.
Yeah.
We are trying to satisfy the demand of casual products that you said. And in the last year, due to the pandemic, the demand of casual rises because everybody works by home.
Yes.
And so you don't need any more the suit, you don't need any more the shirt, tie.
You don't need any more trousers.
Just trousers. It's true. If you're sitting in video conference, you don't need the trousers.
You can have the tie, but no trousers.
No trousers.
I'm joking. I'm sure some people, I'm sure you did. I did it. Not often, but it happened to me.
But what I think for the future, so now, yes, the trend is casual.
Yeah.
This is the trend for the next, I think, 2 to 3 more years.
Yes.
And the suit maybe will go down in this period, but then there are a lot of jobs that required today and will require also tomorrow the suit. So there will be a very big market of people that will buy a suit because they need the suit.
Yes.
And then there is, to me, but maybe I'm wrong. I hope no, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
There will be another niche, we can say, of market that will buy a suit because they love the suit.
Yes.
Because the young people, young generation, as you said before, is extremely true. They are thinking about the suit because they are thinking about a way more responsible consuming of clothes in general.
Yes.
So buy less and buy better.
Yes.
This is why buying a jacket, a Lanieri jacket or a bespoke jacket even is the same, is much more better than buy, for example, 10 jacket from the fast fashion market.
Of course. We agree totally on that. So I think it can be an inflection, but my point of view now, I'm going to give you my point of view. It said, yes, when I look at the figures, when I listen to all the people that are listening to us, or even the partners or the people we invite at this table, everybody has the same figures. Casual is exploding, suiting is going down. But I would like to add a little nuance to that. Because we told this many times on this channel that there's a difference between people who have to wear a suit or who want to wear a suit, which is totally different. It's even the impulsion is different, even the idea is different, and at the end even the style will be different, because when you wear a suit and you don't really like
I can see it immediately.
The people who put their computer bag on their shoulder of the suit, please Gentlemen, don't do that. You are destroying the shoulder of your suit, which is the main part of the style of a suit. But still, all this casual movement, all this loosening of the codes, it's always the same story in economics. And when something is going really down, all of a sudden you will have a counter movement. You will have a counter movement which will become a counterculture at the beginning and who will become a niche, but a growing niche. And this is, in my opinion, where we are today. We came from a mass market to a niche market. And on the niche market, the key players are people like you, custom suiting. What is really crashing down is crappy ready to wear. And you know what? I think it's good news because, people with this suits with no shape, it's better to put it on a chino and a sweater in this case. It's better this than a crappy suit. But this niche, little by little, is growing. And the calculation is very easy. If people want to consume more in a more responsible manner, and this is true, and this is even truer every day that passes because of COVID and because of the wake-up call of COVID that we have been consuming crazy and the climate change and all these major topics. So it is something that, but on top of that, people who are educated, who want to get a suit, they are ready, or they will be ready to pay a little bit more than a crappy suit of the rack. So it means that when you put all this in a pot, I believe there's a strong future for a company like you, and of course others, but specifically you, because you are the subject today, that are trying to adapt to the market, but also mixing the different techniques to make sure that everybody will be well suited. So thank you, Valerio. That was a very interesting conversation. And to wrap it up, I would like to, first of all, you've probably noticed 1 hour ago when we started this show that we are surrounded by marvelous models from Lanieri. So describe it. Here on the left, this is cashmere.
Yeah, 100% cashmere by Piacenza.
Yes. Beautiful mill in Biella. It's patch pocket.
Double-breasted blazer with patch pocket, 6 on 2 buttons. On 2 means that the 2 buttons here are working, so it means that you can button, but obviously never button the last one, only the central one.
So this is pure cashmere. How much is this pure cashmere at Lanieri?
This blazer costs €815.
815 or 50?
15. Yes.
Wow, which is a good price for cashmere. Yeah. So this one is the perennial classic suit.
The perennial classic suit, 100% wool, 250 grams from is a Reda fabric in twill, with patch pocket, just to be a little bit more casual.
Italian.
Not so
more Italian.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a nice one. This is what we consider as the best choice for a wedding. If you see, we have the silver tie with the silver vest for bottom model, 2 button, the jacket with the peak lapel, wide peak lapel like mine. That is the best option to give the best shape to your chest and to your shoulder. But you see, the most important thing to say about this suit is that this suit, if you take out the vest and the silver
you can
tie,
use it in business.
Exactly. Yeah. And this is the trend for the wedding. Yeah. We have many customers that choose Lanieri for the wedding day. Yeah. And they would like to have a suit that then can be reused.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, this is what we call responsible consumption.
Yeah, exactly.
And this one is beautiful.
And this is wonderful. One of our main product of this fall winter collection, 100% wool, 360 grams. So it's a flannel.
Yes.
A worsted flannel in this case by Lanificio Marzotto, double-breasted. Patch pocket also in this case, and you see the difference between a jacket and a blazer.
Yes.
The blazer has a lapel massive.
Yes.
Larger, and instead the jacket is much more discreet. So
And for me, it will be a little bit too small, this lapel, but that's another story. You know that I like massive lapels.
Huge.
But it's okay. Thank you, Valerio. It was a very interesting moment to spend with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about Lanieri. If you want to know more, it's lanieri.com.
Correct.
If you want to visit a store in Italy, in France, or in Brussels, you have to take an appointment. I think you can take an appointment online.
Yes.
And if you want to have an online consultation to get some help for your measurement or to get a style advisor to choose your fabric depending on your lifestyle. Same thing. You can take a video appointment. When I take a video appointment, it doesn't mean I have to buy. It can be just a conversation like that.
But neither if you enter one of our store, you need to
of course. But I was talking about video because it requires time and stuff like that. So
absolutely not. Totally free.
Totally free. Okay.
Yep, totally free.
And last but not least, Lanieri guarantee you that if you buy a suit from them and anything goes wrong, they will have a solution for you, whether alteration covered by them, or in the worst case, and Valerio said it's kind of rare because they start to have a long experience now, they can redo the suit if necessary. I must add one thing is that everything in this company is from Italy, from the fabric to the place where the suits are crafted, and of course the boutiques, and the headquarters are in Biella, the north of Italy.
It's divided between the Biella land and Milan. Because now Reda has a very big building in Milan also.
Yes.
I would like to add just one thing before say goodbye and thank you.
You can say anything you want here.
No, just regarding in relation to what you were saying a minute ago. Customer experience to me is before you enter in a store, when you enter in a store, and mostly after. So the after sales is very important for the retention of the customer, and for us we can try to do our best every day to improve the service that we would like to give to our customer in the store, online, as the customer service that operates online. So we are here for any kind of reason, for any kind of occasion, and for any kind of help that we can give to our customer. We are here. We are here, but stop. That's it.
Mamma mia, we are here.
We are here.
Yeah. This is so Italian as a conclusion. Thank you so much, Valerio. It was a pleasure to receive you. So you got all the information. It's a very interesting company, and we are happy that we had the opportunity to introduce them to you, ladies and gentlemen. So if you live in the US, you can look online. If you live in countries where they don't have a store, it's no problem. You can still have this human contact, which is for me the signature of the Italian soul. Thank you for looking at us. We're going to look at this camera. And as I give you an appointment for the next episode of Sartorial Talks, and in the meantime, 3, 2, 1, cheers.
Cheers.